Plus, I want to quickly acquaint you with the top 10 non-bank lenders for new LLC business loans that approve you quickly and very generously. Minimum FICO score, 400. Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Suri Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Now let's roll. In today's convo, I want to speak to you about the top 10 non-bank lenders for new LLC business loans that approve you quickly and generously. Minimum FICO score, 400. Number 10, we have Action. Our score, 7.2 over 10. So when you think about Action, I want you to think about a non-bank, non-profit lender, which makes it a very interesting proposition if you are looking for lenient APR, so lower APR, looking for lenient terms and conditions and whatnot. So this is really good. Normally, Action's requirements are as follows. They want you to be in business for 12 months at least. The owner must be at least 18 years of age. He or she must own at least 20% of the company, and the business must generate at least $50,000 in annual sales. However, you can qualify as a new LLC business if you collateralize the loan or line of credit. That means what? That means that you get the loan and you can buy, let's say, a piece of assets, for example, equipment, or you can collateralize, you can actually have accounts receivable factoring. So anything that is asset-based or asset-backed, you'll be fine. You can qualify through Action, and you can qualify for up to $100,000. We have seen clients of ours who qualify for it, $250,000. So everything is possible. Number 9, we have here Lending Club. Our score is 7.7 over 10. So when you think about Lending Club, in our view, as a new LLC business, you want to think of them as the best peer-to-peer loan. Normally, Lending Club wants you to be in operation for at least 12 months and have a FICO score of a 580. However, if you are a new LLC, you can qualify for a new LLC business loan if you're willing to collateralize the loan or line of credit. So Lending Club is not your traditional lender. They are a peer-to-peer loan. In other words, you will post your loan proposal on the platform, and the platform will actually disseminate your loan proposal to a constellation of investors, P2P investors, and those investors who like your profile, who likes your new LLC profile, will actually bid to actually give you the money. So this is how it works, and you can actually borrow up to $100,000 through Lending Club. And we have seen cases where you can even borrow all the way to $500,000 if you have a very solid business plan and everything else matches. Number 8, folks, we have New Tech. Our score, 8 over 10. So New Tech has a different business model, which we love. Basically, they will actually take your data and they'll try to actually spread the data because they have lending partners that they work with. And so they'll take your data and they will spread that data among their circle of lenders, and they'll try to match you with the best lender. Sometimes they will finance certain transactions themselves, and sometimes they will actually disseminate your data in their circle of lenders. So when we talk about New Tech, we are speaking about term loans that go from $1,000 to $15 million. You can use the cash to expand or acquire a business. You can refinance existing debt, working capital. You can purchase owner-occupied real estate. Normally, if you are a new LLC, you don't have working capital yet, because working capital is basically current asset minus current liabilities, right? Short-term assets minus short-term liabilities. So if you have a new LLC, you don't have a working capital unless you have been in operations for 3 to 6 months and you still qualify as a new LLC. And so besides term loans, you can qualify also for revolving lines of credit through New Tech. Okay, so we are speaking about lines backed by accounts receivables. We have lines backed by inventory. We have lines backed by healthcare receivables. So you have a constellation of asset-backed loans. That's what we call collateralized lines of credit and loans. So you can qualify as a new LLC business if you collateralize the loan or line of credit through new tech. Number 7, we have QuickBooks Capital. Our score, 8.2 over 10. The thing about QuickBooks Capital is that there are no origination fees, prepayment penalties, or hidden charges. But you gotta use the QuickBooks POS though, because this is how they don't check your credit. They don't even check your credit. What they look at the volume of transactions that you actually process through the QuickBooks POS. Okay, so if you currently use QuickBooks POS for your restaurants or whatever industry you're in, you can qualify. Normally, QuickBooks wants you to have at least $50,000 over the past 12 months to qualify for this loan. However, you can still qualify as a new LLC business if you have used QuickBooks POS in a non-business capacity for at least 1 year prior to the loan application. Okay, so the qualification is pretty easy. Okay, and the cool thing is they do not check your credit because they don't care about your credit. They care about the transactional volume you process through QuickBooks Online. Number 6, we have here On Deck. Our score, 8.5 over 10. So when you think about On Deck, I want you to think about a product, a program that is very suitable for your new LLC business. Okay, so they have they have a line of credit, so you can use the cash to manage. You can buy inventory, make payroll. Got a revolving credit line with access to cash when you need it. You are looking at $6,000 to $100,000, and they have a 12-month repayment term that resets after each withdrawals because they are trying to manage their credit risk. So they will see how you manage the line of credit. So after 12 months, they will actually renew it. Or you can get a term loan from On Deck, okay, for your new LLC, and the term loan, the amounts are more generous. You are looking at $5,000 to $250,000, and the repayment terms up to 24 months. Okay, and you can use the cash. You get the cash upfront, and you can repay it over 2 years. You can qualify as a new LLC business if you collateralize the loan or line of credit. Number 5, folks, we have national funding. Our score, 8.8 over 10. So when you think about national funding, I want you to think about a constellation of credit programs. So this is actually, national funding is pretty good for new LLCs that have bad credit. So if you are really in the 300 category, if you are in the basement, really in the basement, in terms of the FICO score spectrum, you want to talk to national funding. They have small business loans, so here you can secure working capital for inventory, payroll, marketing, taxes, and more. So you are looking at $5,000 to $500,000. And they also have equipment financing and leasing. So you have business lending options to purchase or lease new or used equipment. You are looking at a maximum amount of $150,000. And the cool thing we love about national funding is that they actually have something called the National Funding Advantage. And this is a program whereby they actually will accelerate you being approved. Okay, so they have a team in place that will help you actually be approved real fast. So they can help you with things like business plan writing. They will look at your loan proposal overall and give you advice on how you can improve things to be approved faster. This is fantastic. And we love the fact that national funding actually has a personalized service to kind of help you. Okay, remember they offer loans from $5,000 all the way to $500,000, and you can qualify also for a national funding loan as a new LLC business if you collateralize the loan or line of credit. So you can see that so far, if you want to qualify for a new LLC business loan, you got to collateralize the loan. In other words, they want to make sure that you use the loan proceeds to buy a piece of equipment or an asset that will serve in the business, so that the lender is kind of assured that they have the title to the piece of equipment or to the asset, and if something happens, they can always recoup their losses. Recoup their investments. Number 4, we have here SBG funding. Our score, 9/10. What we love about SBG is not only the customer service, we love the fact that they release funds real fast. They're not playing games with you. No, they have same-day funding available. So you are looking at a very rich, up to $5 million approval. Decisions in under 24 hours, okay? And rates start at 1.75% per month. And the cool thing is about SBG is that their underwriting process is really fast. I've already said that, but it's flexible. That's a cool thing too. In other words, they can have custom tailored approvals specific to your new LLC business needs. Okay. And they're also affordable. You can save thousands by finding the right program with the lowest rates for your new LLC business. Because when you really think about it, minimum 1.75% a month, that's about what, 20% a year? That's still manageable. It is still manageable. Now, to qualify for an SBG funding program, you need to be in operation for 6 months, FICO score at 500. They want to have the 3 most recent bank statements, business bank statements, that is, 10K at least in monthly revenue, 6 months in business, yeah. And so the bottom line is what? You can qualify as a brand new LLC business, again, if you collateralize the loan or line of credit. So when you call them up, just make sure that you say the very first thing you have to tell them, I am willing to collateralize the loan. I am willing to collateralize the line of credit. That should be your first sentence when you call SBG funding. Number 3, we have Bluevine. Our score, 9.3/10. Bluevine is great for startups, so this is great for a new LLC. So new LLC business is definitely welcome at Bluevine. You don't need to collateralize the loan. They have other ways to actually mitigate risk at Bluevine. So here you are looking at credit lines up to $250,000. Rates are as low as 4.8%. And we love the celerity. We love the speed in the decision-making process. You are looking at decisions that can be made within 5 minutes. Think about that, 5 minutes. So you are looking at funding that's as fast and flexible as possible. You get on-demand access to a revolving line of credit with no monthly fees, and funds are available on demand. Okay, so you can draw the funds you need with a click of a button. What we love is that with Bluevine, they make the whole thing very easy for you. Your credit line replenishes automatically as you make prepayments. Sometimes with traditional banks, you have to wait for approval for the credit line to be replenished, but with Bluevine, it's automatic. And revolving lines of credit terms are for 6 or 12 months. Okay, they want you to have a minimum FICO score is between 500 and 600, and they want you to be in business between 0 and 6 months, and they want you to have a monthly revenue between $0 and $10,000. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a discussion about the top 10 non-bank lenders for new LLC business loans that approve you richly and really fast. Number 2, we have here Fora Financials. Our score, 9.5/10. So when you think about Fora, you are thinking about a lender that's really kicking ass. They are constantly innovating. We love the fact that they propose a variety of loan programs for new LLC businesses. Okay, so they have they have 2 main programs, but underneath those 2 programs, they have a constellation of sub programs in terms of funding your business, funding your new LLC. So they have what they call small business loan. So here you are looking at working capital from a $5,000 to a $750,000, so $5,000 to $750,000. No restrictions whatsoever on the use. You can expect 24-hour approval, free, no obligation quote, term, and that's really good because you're getting a soft pull, okay? And you have terms up to 15 months, early payoff discount, and no collateral required. So new LLC business is definitely welcome, and there's no collateral required. And approval is not solely based on credit, it's based on other stuff. That's for the small business loan. What about the merchant cash advance? The merchant cash advance for a financial is designed to work alongside the pace of your business. So if you're making great sales in a month, they will increase your line of credit. If you're making fewer sales, then they will just adjust. Okay. Again, the working capital the working capital here goes from $5,000 to $750,000. So you are looking at no set terms, 24-hour approval. You are looking at early payoff discounts, no restrictions on use, and approval again is really fast. Number one, the best of the best in our view. Fundbox, our score 9.7 over 10. So this is the easiest, fastest non-bank lending application in our view. And so when you think about Fundbox, you have to think about an online lending platform offering short-term lines of credit and loans for all kinds of businesses, including new LLC businesses. So you can qualify for a loan here. You can qualify as a new LLC business if you collateralize the loan or line of credit. This is very important because normally they want you to have 100,000 in annual revenue, 6 months in business, a personal FICO score of 600 or higher, and a business checking account. However, if you decide to collateralize the loan, those conditions can be readjusted. You got to give them a call and just start the negotiation at the beginning. But with Fundbox, you can get a business line of credit up to $150,000, and there are no origination fees. So this is really, really good. Before I really close to this conversation, let me just delve a little bit into the subtleties of non-bank business lending. This is important, especially for new LLC. And so here's the overview. The thing is, when you think about non-bank business lending, you got to think about the requirements that those alternative lenders typically ask. So they usually ask for your credit score, okay? And here we are speaking about non-EIN business application. So your business's loan application will be based partially on your fundamentals, your financial fundamentals, your personal fundamentals, but also on the business's fundamentals. So your credit score. So credit score, usually they ask for 600, but in some cases they are willing to go all the way down to 400 and even 300. Why? Because if the loan is collateralized, they know that they are covered anyway. If something were to happen, they could just recoup their losses or their investment by seizing and selling the property. Usually, they will also ask you to have a minimum time in business, and this period oscillates from 6 months to 12 months. Some cases they want you to be in business for 18 months. But if you are a new LLC business, you can still qualify for a loan by bypassing this minimum operational history requirements. They will ask you for a business plan, which we strongly recommend on this show, that you always write a captivating, a compelling, a reassuring business plan that tells the lender, hey, listen, I am in this business for the long haul. This is not a side gig for me. This is a real thing, and I really think that the market is there for me, and here is how I'm going to monetize my new LLC business model. And they want to see your projected balance sheet. As you know, the balance sheet has the company's assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. They will also want to see your cash flow history and projections. So if you're a new LLC, you don't have a history of cash flows, but you have a future of cash flows. So that's the important thing here, which means what? It means you have to create projected financial statements. So financial statements with a prospective view, not a retroactive view, a prospective view. They might ask you to also show them whatever accounts receivable, accounts payable you currently have. So to sort of detect some kind of activity in the brand new business. Okay. And they might ask for collateral. I just spoke throughout the show about certain loans qualifying you if you can show collateral. So when we speak about collateral, the lender will pay attention to the value and the quality of the collateral. Let me give you a few pro tips that are very important as you navigate the world of non-bank business lending for your new LLC business. Okay. Remember that when we speak about non-online loan requirements versus bank loan requirements for your new LLC business, banks and credit unions, for that matter, tend to be generally more conservative. In other words, their criteria are more strict or stricter. Their criteria are more stringent or stricter than the criteria that the alternative lenders and the online business lenders will usually have for you. And this is really this is understandable because banks are subject to a constellation of regulatory guidelines. They have to meet certain capital thresholds, so they're not playing the same industry as those alternative lenders. But what I'm trying to say here is that if you are looking for a business loan for your new LLC, chances are you are better off just going to a non-bank lender than going to a bank. And in some cases, maybe if your fundamentals are strong, maybe you might want to explore the SBA loan application process, because the thing is, a lot of business lenders would rather go with the SBA loan program because they know that the program is backed by the full force and faith of the United States government through the Small Business Administration. So if you have but the thing is, for SBA program, for SBA lending, you better have strong fundamentals. And the thing is, they go really deep. They will do a complete background check. They will check your, they really go deep. They go granular. So if you're not ready to actually subject yourself to this level of granularity, it's just better to stick with alternative lending, online business lending. And one thing you always have to do, no matter what, please pay attention to the two things I said before: the business plan and your business financials. Those two elements are very, very important. Do not underestimate them, okay? And it doesn't matter whether you're applying for an SBA loan or a regular loan, a regular business loan, you always need a business plan and projected financial statements or regular financial statements. This is really important. Thank you so much for your attention. Before I actually do a recap, please check out this approach. We do have a strict methodology when it comes to evaluating, categorizing, and reviewing business loans and credit cards on this show. So check this out. Okay, here's a recap of today's conversation. So I was talking to you about the top 10 non-bank lenders for new LLC business loans that approve you quickly and generously. FICO score 400 minimum. Number 1, Fundbox, 9.7 over 10. Number 2, Fora Financial, 9.5 over 10. Number 3, we have Bluevine, 9.3 over 10. Number 4, we have SPG Funding, 9 over 10. Number 5, we have National Funding, 8.8 over 10. Number 6, we have OnDeck, 8.5 over 10. Number 7, we have QuickBooks Capital, 8.2 over 10. Number 8, we have Newtek, 8 over 10. Number 9, we have Lending Club, 7.7 over 10. And number 10, last but not the least, we have Axion, 7.2 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.